Okay, so if you watched my previous video about the DJI November firmware update, then you'll know that they added a bunch of new features, and one of those features is saving text files of the OSD information that you can then use when you're playing back the video to be able to see the OSD that was actually recorded. So you'll see here, let's see, where is it? Added support for saving on-screen display information as subtitle files when recording by the goggles. So in this video, I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into what that means and show you what you can do with that information. So one of the new features of the November firmware update from DJI is the ability to record SRT files, which are basically like a timed text file that's got all the OSD data in it, and you can match that up with a video file and play it back at the right time, and you can basically see exactly what your OSD was showing at the time. It's a little bit like how closed captions are done for television or video files. So I'm going to show you here. I'll go through the menus and show you how you can watch the video playback using these new files. So if I go down to the playback here, and then I go, this button here allows you to turn them on or off. So the OSD, it's sort of like, the DJI is showing the OSD and turning it on and off. If I go down here with that enabled and hit play and watch, and now you can see down at the bottom of the screen, there's my OSD information, just like what I was seeing while I was flying. And if I go back here, okay, so if you go up here and you go turn this off and you play back this file, now you'll see that there's no OSD down at the bottom of the screen, and it plays it back just like it did with the previous firmware. So this, in my opinion, is a really handy new feature so that you can play it back with or without your OSD, and it'll be a more important feature, I assume, as they get more OSD information in the future. Like if you've got GPS on here and you've got a return to home, or if you've even just got the GPS on here so that when it goes down, you'll be able to play it back and see the latitude and longitude of the last known location. So this is just one of the little bits of information that you're going to be able to see in this new firmware update. And let's go and take a look at some of the other things you can do with this file. Well, if you happen to open these files on your computer, you can also play back the OSD as if it were subtitles on a video file. So let's go take a look at this. If I double click on this one, it's going to automatically open up in QuickTime, and as you can see here, QuickTime does not see any subtitle file to go along with this. But if we quit QuickTime, and if we open this with VLC instead, it automatically detects the subtitles and it shows them to you right there. And what's really cool about it being a subtitle is it's not actually part of the video, which means you can turn the subtitle track on, you can turn the subtitles off. Oops, come back VLC. You can change the color, the background, all kinds of things. You can do whatever you want, make it look cool, make it harder to read, make it easier to read. So I think that's a really neat feature. But let's say, all right, great, you can play this back on your computer, but what if I wanted to get this into YouTube? VLC doesn't seem to have a great way to export this with the closed captions burned into the video, but another program called Handbrake is a great way to take this video file and export it into a format that you can upload into YouTube and get the captions burned into the video. So let's jump into Handbrake and take a look at how that works. I'm going to close VLC here, and let's go back to this video file. And I want to open this with Handbrake. I've got the latest version, so I don't need to worry about that. Oh, tell it to open this file. Now that it's got the file open, I'm going to click on the Subtitles tab here and pull down the tracks and add an external SRT file. So I go find the matching SRT file, open that. And now I've got a few options here. I can click Burned In which case it will convert these closed captions and put them as open captions, so they're burned right across the video. So if you play it back, that's all you'll see the captions right there. We can also add the SRT file again, but this time we'll just leave it as a a track. Let's see, what happens if I make this unknown instead of English? And then you can choose whatever kind of output format that you want, you think that works best for your video files for uploading to YouTube. I'm just going to leave this here at the 1080p 30 since I know that that works okay. And I'm going to start and export this. Oh, I need to tell it where to write this file. And I'm going to choose this location, Handbrake, and go. Okay, now that Handbrake is done encoding that file for us, let's take a look at it. Just going to double click, open it up in QuickTime. And if I play it back, you can see right here that it has the OSD information burned into the screen. As you play it back, you can see all the settings changing again. But I can also go in here and turn on that unknown language subtitle, and it's also on there. So you can choose whether or not you want them as actual subtitles that people have to turn on or off, or to have it directly burned into the image, or both like this, which is kind of silly because it's really hard to see. So I'm going to turn that back off again. So now that you've got this MP4 file, you can do whatever you'd like to do with it. You can upload this directly to YouTube, or you could put it into a different video editor and edit it and add it to whatever your project you're working on. Okay, and now I'm going to try to test one more thing. Let's see what happens if we upload this directly to YouTube. Does YouTube detect that it's got embedded captions in it and allow you to display them just like it does here in QuickTime? Let me upload this file and take a look. So it looks like YouTube does not automatically detect the subtitles or captions that were embedded in this video file that was created by Handbrake. But I did discover that you can upload your own, they call them transcriptions here in YouTube. And if I want to, I can go up here and let's try adding a language. Just for fun, I'll go down here and I'll add Zulu as a language. And I'm going to add a file. So I can upload a file. And I'm going to click Subtitles File. I'm going to browse for that SRT file I used with Handbrake. Tell it to upload. And it looks like YouTube can deal with SRT files just fine. It looks like all of the correct OSD information here. And it's trying to load it. And this is the video file that had the OSD information burned into the video file, and now I'm adding closed captions on top of it. So let's play this back here, and there you go. You could see both the burned in and the overlaid closed captions. So we'll pause that, and let's save these changes. And we'll go back to this video file here. So now when we play this back in YouTube, I can click the closed caption button and up pops all the captions. So this means you can choose how you want to add your OSD information to your YouTube videos, whether you want to add it as a text file and tell people to turn it on and off like you would closed captions, or if you want to embed it directly into the video file, whatever you think works best for you and your viewers. So I think that's a pretty cool feature. And let's say you want to do some more sophisticated editing and you use Final Cut and you want to put captions into your file using Final Cut. Well, in the next section of this video, I'm going to do just that. Okay, so here we are in Final Cut, and I'm going to grab that same video file I've been working with, drop it down here in my timeline, and you can clearly see there's no OSD information displayed at all in this video. And all you have to do is go and import captions. Go import your SRT file, click import, wait for it to import those captions, and boom, just like that, now you've got your captions on your video, or your OSD, the OSD which is masquerading as captions as far as Final Cut knows, and you can see again all the information is updating as you go. So it's perfect. Now we've got that on our video. And then when you export your video, say you're exporting it up to YouTube, you've got options for what you'd like to do with that. So here we can either burn those captions in, so that, like it was with Handbrake, it would be visible over your video at all times. Or you can leave them just as added captions here, which YouTube will detect and will automatically play those back for people if they want to see them. All right, so we can upload this to YouTube and see what happens. Okay, so here is that YouTube video after it's been all uploaded and detected by YouTube. And if I play it back, you can see, oh, it's got captions turned on already. There are the captions that are burned into the video. And YouTube also detected that I added closed captions. And if I turn those on, there's the captions or subtitles. It gets a little confusing because it's transcriptions, it's captions, it's subtitles, it's closed captions, it's open captions. It's all of those different things sort of at different times. But this is another great way for you to be able to do whatever it is you want with these caption files and make the best videos possible. Now, one final thing I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can put these captions over the top of the GoPro footage that was recorded at the same time as this video. Okay, so here in my timeline now I have the GoPro footage of one of the flights I did that same day, and I'm going to try to add the OSD over the top of it. Now this gets a little bit trickier because the OSD starts when you arm, so when the goggles start recording. And the GoPro doesn't start recording at the exact same time, so you have to sort of cut the video so that the OSD lines up with about when you arm. And so I've done that here. Like if I start this video, pretty much arms right at the very beginning. And we will go up here to File, Import Captions again. And let's import this SRT file that goes with this video. And in just a moment when that gets finished importing, ta-da! Now we've got our captions over the top of our GoPro video, or we've got our OSD information with our GoPro video. That opens up all kinds of possibilities for people who want to show their OSD information of their flights. So I hope, let's pause that, or actually let's just turn down the volume a bit there. So hopefully that has sparked some ideas for everybody out there and what they can do or what they can't do with these OSD information. And I'm curious to see some of the creative ways you're going to use this. So good luck and catch you next time. Thanks for watching.